What if I told you we could develop life-saving drugs, not in decades, but in a fraction of the time, and for a fraction of the cost? Well, this isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. It's happening right now thanks to artificial intelligence. Today, we're going to dive into how AI is completely shaking up the pharmaceutical world, taking us straight from computer code to actual cures. So, let's jump in.
But, before we get to how AI is changing everything, we really have to wrap our heads around the massive problem it's trying to solve. I mean, creating a new drug from scratch, it's one of the toughest, most expensive, and riskiest things anyone can do.
So really, why does it take so long? We're talking nearly 15 years to get a new drug to the people who need it. And if you've ever waited for a new treatment or watched someone you love wait, you know this isn't just a number. It's about real lives. Let's break down the stats behind this insane delay.
14.6 years. Just let that sink in. Nearly 15 years. That's the average from an idea in a lab to a pill in a bottle. A decade and a half of research, testing, failures, and waiting.
And the cost for that one single drug? Get this, $2.6 billion. Billion with a B. To give you some perspective, that's more than it costs to build the tallest skyscraper on the planet. So yeah, every single new medicine is this huge financial gamble.
Okay, but here's the number that just blows my mind. After all that time and all that money, what's the success rate? A tiny 10%. That's it. So 9 out of every 10 drugs that even make it to clinical trials, they fail. They never reach a single patient. I mean, if that's not a system screaming for a change, I don't know what is.
And that change, that better way? Well, it's finally here. Enter artificial intelligence. AI is stepping in to completely rewrite the rulebook for the first and, honestly, the hardest part of the process, just finding the right molecule to fight a disease.
But here's the thing, this revolution isn't happening everywhere at once. There's a pretty big gap. You've got these nimble, AI-first biotech startups, and they are all in. We're talking 75% adoption. But then you look at the big traditional pharma companies, a lot of them are way behind, moving much slower.
So how's it actually work? Well, think of it like this. AI can chew through these unbelievable amounts of biological and chemical data, stuff that would take humans a lifetime to analyze. It spots potential drug targets we might have missed. Then it helps design the perfect molecule to hit that target. And this is the crazy part, it can even predict how likely it is to succeed in trials, years before a single human takes it. And the results? They're honestly staggering. By using AI in these super early stages, companies are seeing huge savings. They're cutting down preclinical development time by as much as 40% and slicing costs by 30%. In a world where time equals lives and costs are in the billions, this is a total game changer. Let me give you a really concrete, amazing example. AlphaFold. This is an AI from Google's DeepMind that is just revolutionary. See, proteins are these tiny little machines that make our bodies work, and their 3D shape is everything. For decades, figuring out that shape was incredibly slow and difficult. AlphaFold, it can predict it practically instantly.
And we're not talking about a rough guess here. The key is the precision. AlphaFold is so accurate, we're talking down to the angstrom, which is a ridiculously tiny measurement at the atomic level. Its predictions are basically identical to what scientists could get in a real lab after months, sometimes years of work. This is a massive leap forward for biology.
Okay, so AI is crushing it at finding and designing drugs. Awesome. But what about that next huge roadblock? You know the one, the dreaded clinical trial. Let's see how AI is helping to smooth out that long, bumpy road to the patient.
This is one of the most maddening parts of the whole system. Get this, a full quarter, 25% of clinical trials fail for a reason that has nothing to do with whether the drug actually works. Nope, they fail because they just can't find enough of the right patients to sign up. Think of the waste, the time, the money, the potential cures just gone.
This is a problem that AI is almost perfectly built to solve. It can scan through millions of health records and find the perfect people for a trial, not in months, but in days. It helps scientists design smarter, more efficient trials from the get-go. It's also the engine behind decentralized trials, so people can participate from home. It can even predict if someone might drop out, so the team can step in and help. It's just smarter.
And what does all this efficiency add up to? The financial impact is just huge. By optimizing all of this,
data, recruitment, design, the pharma industry could save up to $25 billion just in the clinical development phase alone.
And it gets even more sci-fi. Ever heard of digital twins? These are basically super sophisticated virtual models of a manufacturing line, or sometimes even of the patients themselves. It's wild. In one really cool Alzheimer's trial, they used digital twins to simulate the control group, the people who get the placebo. And by doing that, they needed 35% fewer real human participants. Incredible.
All right, now, as amazing as this all sounds, let's be real. It's not a perfectly smooth ride. I mean, when you're trying to implement a revolution this big, there are going to be some serious challenges to work through.
Yeah, it's a real balancing act. On one hand, you've got these hurdles, like the black box problem, where we don't always know exactly how the AI reached its conclusion, or the huge risk of bias in the data the AI learns from. But, and this is the cool part, every challenge is also an opportunity, right? It's a push to build more transparent systems and to create totally new rules and guidelines that can help speed this whole thing up safely.
And getting over those hurdles, that's the key to unlocking what's next. So let's gaze into the crystal ball a little bit. What could this new era of AI-powered medicine actually look like for you and me?
This timeline just paints an incredible picture. By next year, it's possible that nearly a third of all new drugs will be discovered with AI. Then you jump ahead to the 2030s, and you can see AI teaming up with quantum computing to finally crack our most complex diseases. And after that, we're talking about the beginning of truly personal, proactive healthcare. Think predictive wearables and interventions before you even feel sick.
So, what are the big takeaways here? It's simple, really. 1. AI is making drug development way faster and cheaper. 2. It's making clinical trials smarter and more inclusive. 3. It's pointing to a future of medicine that's all about you. But 4, we've got to solve some pretty big ethical and regulatory challenges to get there.
And look, if you had any doubt that this is the real deal, just follow the money. The market for AI and drug discovery alone is expected to jump from $1.5 billion to nearly $13 billion by 2032. This isn't just a small trend, it's a massive, fundamental shift.
So we've gone from using AI to just crunch numbers to now having it actually design brand new medicines from the ground up. It just leaves you with one big question, right? What impossible challenge, what thing we think can't be solved today, will AI help us conquer next? Thanks for tuning in.